Mr. Finkelstein, Mr. Norman Finkelstein, this is a video I am making specifically for you. I'd like to know something. Are you naive? Are you ill-informed? You've been disinformed. Typically, I like your work. I respect your work. I respect your history of your work. I respect your integrity. But what you've done by publishing a letter supposedly from the people of Gaza, asking for Elon Musk to provide his connectivity equipment to Gaza to help with the aid agencies and communication with Gazans with the outside world, has got to be the most naive and irresponsible thing I think I've ever heard you write or say. And I mean that in all due respect. Seriously, with all due respect. That is outrageous. Elon Musk's Starlink is the beginning of his neural net. It's the Skynet, if you will. It's all those satellites that he's shooting up there, and these are the little connectivity fucking outlets that he has been given to, installing places and giving to people, including certain agencies in the United States, to use, to take advantage of this, to start linking up to that 5G fucking Internet of everything Elon Musk hopes to be the lord of in a couple of fucking years. Even to the point where he's investigating putting little fucking receptors in the back of our heads so that we don't even need our cell phones anymore. The Internet of Things. That's the beginning. That's the end goal of Starlink. But how is it being used now? Which is why I am deeply concerned that you are lending your credibility to this project. You should not. Please don't pay attention to the construction noise next door. I apologize for it. Let me show you something, if I could, Mr. Finkelstein. Urgent request for assistance providing connectivity in Gaza. Esteemed Mr. Elon Musk, we hope this message finds you in good health, high spirits. We are writing to you with a plea for assistance in a matter of utmost urgency and humanitarian concern. As you may already be aware, the situation in Gaza is dire. Devastating conflict has left more than 2 million people struggling to survive in unimaginable conditions. The lack of basic necessities such as electricity and clean water have made an already difficult situation even more precarious. One of the most critical needs at this moment is reliable means of communication. The destruction has been so extensive that people are unable to reach out for help or inform loved ones of their safety. Tragically, many are trapped beneath the rubble, desperately in need of assistance. Currently, there are more than 1,500 individuals still trapped beneath destroyed homes with no means of communication. The wireless and telecommunication infrastructure has been completely decimated. The few remaining UPS and solar batteries are being shared among the community, prioritizing urgent cases. However, those resources are limited and cannot meet the overwhelming demand. We understand that you have the technological capabilities to provide a lifeline to these suffering individuals. By extending your connectivity services to Gaza, you have the power to save lives and be a beacon of hope in this dark hour. We are aware of your reputation for compassion and your commitment to making a positive impact in the world. That's funny. Your assistance in this matter would not only be a lifeline for the people of Gaza, but a testament to the boundless potential of technology to serve humanity. Who wrote this? Did his PR people write this? Where did you get this, Norman? We encourage you to consider this request and act quickly. Your intervention will be a gift of immeasurable value to those who are suffering, and it will leave an indelible mark on the collective memory of humanity. With deep respect and hope, Gazan people. Who speaks for the Gazan people? I would really love to know who speaks for the Gazan people. A lot of comments in here. Most of them are sycophants. Most of them are sycophants to Norman Finkelstein and or Elon Musk. As you can see here. Low-key posted on Twitter that Elon is filling this request. Oh my goodness. The first one says Elon has announced Starlink support for the UN and aid organizations in Gaza via a post on X approximately 2 hours ago. Starlink will support connectivity to internationally recognized aid organizations in Gaza, but not, of course, to the government of Gaza, which is Hamas. That should be your first fucking clue, Mr. Finkelstein. There's a lot of clues, Mr. Finkelstein. I've covered this jackass, and I've covered his Starlink support in Ukraine. You have to understand, Ukraine is becoming the testing ground for the New World Order. There's the DIIA app, which of course X wants to mimic and become for the rest of the westernized world, where everything is going to be on one fucking app. Your banking, your communication, your social media, everything. Any connection with the government. It's going to all be through in order to connect with the government, to get your fucking license plates, to get your driver's license, to apply for retirement, Social Security, to get your Social Security, to get your food stamps. It'll all go through Elon Musk if Elon Musk has his way. And now here you are, Mr. Finkelstein, asking him, by publishing this on your Substack, to save the people of Gaza with what? Well, it was mentioned. He mentioned it. Starlink. It was mentioned in the fucking letter. Starlink. What is Starlink? Where has Starlink been used? USAID safeguards internet access in Ukraine through public-private partnership with SpaceX. Who owns SpaceX? Just for the fucking record, that's right, Elon Musk. And what part of SpaceX? What are they using to safeguard internet access in Ukraine for the Ukrainian Nazis? They're using something called Starlink. The United States Agency for International Development, USAID, has delivered 5,000 Starlink terminals to the government of Ukraine through a public-private partnership with the American aerospace manufacturer, SpaceX. So much so, and of course they're so happy with it, Samantha Powers. You guys, Mr. Finkelstein, have you ever heard of Samantha Power? Is she a real human rights advocate? Because she's a big advocate for Starlink. Just on the specifics of Starlink, as it turns out, that was a public-private partnership. Public-private partnership is code for fascism. It was actually a partnership between USAID in getting the terminals delivered in a timely way, and I mean within days, if not hours, of when Putin was invaded, end quote. That's a conversation that she had. I believe this is USAID website. Big fans of Elon Musk and Starlink. USAID. This is Thomas Mountain. Do you know who Thomas Mountain is, Mr. Finkelstein? The U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, was created by Pax Americana to provide a cover for the CIA agents under the pretext of helping the third world. U.S. imperialism has done some good, or its potential targets would not open their doors to intelligence agents posing as do-gooders, so USAID was created. Today, the USAID is headed for, this is 2016, Mr. Finkelstein. Today, USAID is headed by Gail Smith, formerly a special advisor to President Barack Obama and senior director of the National Security Council. To put it simply, Gail Smith is one of the top spooks in the United States, somebody who told the CIA what to do. Today, this former spook is running a multi-billion-dollar aid agency with thousands of employees or contractors operating worldwide. Who knows who's an agent and who's real aid worker when it comes to USAID? And let me just say this real quick. Samantha Power, of course, is, I believe, administrator of USAID. Let me just check and make sure before I say that. I think she runs it. She's the director of USAID, is she not? Yeah. She's serving as the administrator of United States Agency for International Development. That's Samantha Power. By the way, Samantha Power is married to or dating Cass Sunstein. Here it is. Spouse. Married. Cass Sunstein. Ultra Zionist, by the way. That's who you are asking the people of Gaza to trust their all-important communication with, especially aid agencies inside Gaza. What does that mean? That means he'll bring in his fucking SpaceX fucking Starlink shit and he'll set that up. Or he wouldn't do it himself, obviously. He'll send people to do it for him, and they'll set that up and they'll link up to his fucking satellite network up there. And guess who will intercept each and every communication and record each and every communication? That's right, boys and girls, USAID, otherwise known as the Central Intelligence Agency. And guess what they'll do to people who are supporting fucking Gaza? Guess what they'll do, Mr. Finkelstein? Take a fucking guess. Do you think USAID and the Central Intelligence Agency will not intercept that information? That Starlink will not fucking record all those conversations, including beginning point and end point users of all communications, and share that information with the Central Intelligence Agency and, of course, USAID? You are naive. You are stupid. You are stupid. They will. And they will develop a list of everybody who was trying to help, everybody who was working with the aid agencies and anybody else using Starlink in Gaza, probably including Hamas officials. That's what you're campaigning for. That's what you're helping with. And acting as if Elon Musk is some do-gooder with clean hands who's only interested in helping the poor people of Gaza, the Palestinians, acting as if that is criminally negligent from my point of view. It's criminally negligent. It won't take long for people to figure out. When people start disappearing and being arrested or being detained and being questioned in other countries because they have been helping the people of Gaza, it won't take long for those people and everybody else and all the other activists and all the other pro-Palestinian activists and groups across the world to realize how they were ratted out, where they got that information, how they got the information, and how they got to be targeted in the first fucking place. And then, Mr. Finkelstein, it's going to come back to your Substack. So, as a favor to the people of fucking Gaza, I would request that you don't promote the use of USAID, NASA, SpaceX, CIA-backed hardware to help them at this time of need. Maybe there are other companies out there that do the same thing that compete with Mr. fucking Musk. Maybe they would be better choices at this particular time. Don't you think? Think about it, Mr. Finkelstein. People's lives depend on it.